For this week's assignment, I interviewed three teachers, two public school teachers and one at my charter school, about their use of technology.
Hi, I'm Jessie, and I teach art at a K through 5 elementary school called Day Miguel, and I use technology every single day in my classroom.
Just like Jessie, most teachers use technology every day in their classroom, so I created 7 questions for these teachers to see how in line they are with the ISTE standards.
I stay up to date by collaborating a lot with other art teachers throughout my district. We tend to get together once a month and bounce ideas off each other with all different types of lesson plans, but especially ones that do incorporate technologies.
Ashley, her school actually pays for trainings multiple times a year so that they can learn about all new technology. Levi at my school does not get paid for trainings, but he says that he stays up to date by communicating with his past cohort members from his education program at Northern Arizona University.
So I'm able to use technology to improve all my different students with their different learning styles by implementing something as simple as UDL, Universal Design of Learning, and that's all about getting the kids who are the lowest low and the highest highs and all the kids in the middle. And I do that by having them research different things either through video, if they're visual learners, and imagery. They can also read if they want to. They are able to listen to research that is in their programs, especially using Google. There are apps that allow that to happen and read text to them if students have a hard time reading.
To elaborate upon the last question, this question is a little bit more specific. Not only are there auditory programs, visual programs, and kinesthetic programs, but there's always going to be one program that will work for a student. Whether they like projects more or whether they like reading more, there are many, many options according to all of these interviewees. Ashley, who did not want to be videotaped, said that her favorite way to engage students is just to use laptops and have everyone be on the same program at the same time. Levi goes into more detail about his favorite software called BrainPop.
So BrainPop is a software, more so just a website, but it's highly accessible, and you can find short videos on a variety of topics that you're teaching. From earliest I've used it is in first grade up to 8th grade, and it's just a great way to have an anticipatory set to get their minds thinking about what you're going to cover that day.
All three teachers talked about how hard this is because there are so many incredible sources out there on the internet. Ashley likes to give her fifth graders a list of sources that they can use. Levi, who taught eighth grade last year, did a whole lesson on what a credible source is. And Jessie, along with the other teachers, goes over these credible sources whenever they have to do a bibliography. All three teachers that I interviewed said that they weren't able to use technology every day to do assessments for their students, but some of them said that if they could, they would use programs like Kahoot, which is a fun program that can assess the kids while using games or other forms of assessments. Levi stated that if the student didn't want to do a presentation, which is a form of assessment, they could do an online presentation using programs such as Prezi. Ashley and Jessie both gave answers that I kind of expected because they do have access to a wide variety of technology. So I'm going to insert Levi's clip where he talks about the technology that we use at Pine Forest to make sure that we follow the state standards.
I think it depends on your school site. So here using Galileo, I also know there's Dibbles. Simple ways to do that, like one way I do that, it's not necessarily student progress, although you can use it, is it's called Planbook. And it's a website resource that is just a digital lesson planner. While I'm writing lessons, I can use, I can fully write it out or use short notes, and then right then and there I can click standard. You're able to select, like if the topic's science, I can quickly go into these drop down boxes and find the standard that I need. So I can look up the standards immediately, and it's relevant to my state. So this is Common Core, but there is Arizona specific state standards, and that's continually updated. So I would select that. I could go to language or whatever category it is, and then I can click what standard's relevant.
The lesson plan I received is from Levi, who is our 5th grade teacher at school, and I believe that he follows the ISTE standard for the designer, which is 5B. He uses technology in many different ways that I couldn't even imagine before, and he uses a Promethean active board to first show a visual. He draws 2 images on the board that he wants the children to connect, even though they're completely different. Students will be able to come up with a solution found in nature to a human problem. That is their objective, and he accomplishes it by introducing the lesson with the Promethean active board, having the students discuss it, and then following up the discussion with a video on YouTube. Not only is Levi using auditory and visual work for this differentiated learning example, but he uses partner work as well, and I think that he did a really good job trying to complete his objective, and this is definitely something that I will strive to use in the future. It's very thorough, and I'm very, very impressed. Overall, I think this was a worthwhile assignment, and I'm glad I was able to interview 3 teachers and be able to look at this lesson plan.